Yo, what up guys, it's 5D here. I do have a SkullCrown guide for you that shows a beginner build for this champion, a mid game, or even an end game build. So we're going to be showing off 3 different builds for this champion and where you can use her. This champion can be found in the Night Rev faction and is one that I've waited so long to finally obtain, an epic champion. And what is special about this champion is the Void Affinity, so she will do damage no matter the affinity without getting any weak hits. That's one major key point why a lot of people might use her as a damage dealer, especially in PvP arena. So no matter how you're going to use her, I'm going to go to the gear and show her off. But let's talk about why she's special first of all. What's so special about this champion is because her skills are AoE. AoE means that she hits all the enemies with the skills. From this A1 is coming in right there to place an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. So besides just hitting them once, if after that first hit they have more than 50% HP, she will hit again. So if you see her doing battle once sometimes and do it twice sometimes, you know now why. Because if she hits the enemy and they go below 50%, she will not hit them again. But if they are well above 50%, she will take 2 turns. Well, you won't even notice that it's a 2-turn, but it is. She will just go 1, 2, just like that. It's not that other champions in the raid will take 1 turn, come back to their set, and then you see extra turn. No, this is not an extra turn. This is just an extra hit. That's the difference on that A1. This is the skill that most players will use her for in raid Shadow Legends. So now on the A2, this champion has a 50% chance of placing 25% weaken debuff. This is also an AoE hit. This will hit the enemies, and most people will say this is a nuking ability, but I might disagree and tell you her A1 is a nuking ability for at least on my build. But if you're gonna use that as your nuker, where you just go increase attack and all that, and then you go in for the big nuke, you want to go with that A2. It definitely hits harder than the A1, but the difference is the A1 might be used more often, a lot in battle, than the A2. The A2 just hits once and then goes on cooldown for 3 turns, but it does do big damage if she gets a turn to actually use it. Now, what she's actually known for is placing unkillable on herself for 1 turn every time her HP drops below 20%. So that's her selling point right here. Although there are champions in raid who can totally ignore this unkillable or just make her remove it and then nuke her down, but this is what she's known for. This champion uses this skill the most in go second teams, right? You try to nuke her, you go in to attack to take her down, and then she survives the hit and then goes in and take you down instead. So while you're busy trying to make her get off unkillable, she's busy killing your teammates with her A1. So that's what makes her special. That's what makes her keep using her skills again in battle, because she stays alive right here with an unkillable buff on herself. Nobody places on herself, she just places on her own self. She also has a passive which will revive this champion with 30% HP. This will only happen if Sinesha, her counterpart, is on the same team and alive. So if Sinesha is dead, this will not happen. That's why most players in PvP will want to kill off Sinesha first before they try to kill off the SkullCrown, so Sinesha does not revive her. So that's this champion right here. She does have an aura that you can use in arena battles, 23% in the leader slot if you're not using an arbiter along with her, or if you're not going to use a Kaima or somebody like that. She can be the leader slot and boost her speed up if that's the type of thing you want her in. Alright, let's head over to see how I build this champion, and we're going to test her in some content. The first content we'll test her in, of course, is going to be campaign, because she's known as a campaign farmer. Basically every champion in raid who does damage, who has an AoE on the A1, is known as a campaign farmer. Just make the list. As long as they have an AoE on their A1, most people want to use them as the campaign farmer, because it's possible for them to clear that campaign wave of brutal 12-3 in 1 hit. Alright, let's see how I built my SkullCrown. Recently used. Now, the first build I'm going to show you in SkullCrown, before I even show you my own build, the first thing that you should know if you're new to raid, a month to a year, you're not going to have the sets required to make this champion do a lot of damage in the arena or any content. So the best set for you as a beginner player of raid Shadow Legends is any set that does damage, and the easiest one you can get for her, if I click on her as a beginner level set, is this one you get from the clan boss. Crew set is a early beginner set, because even from brutal you start getting some good crew sets. If you're saving up, even if it's 5-star, this is the beginner one that you can use for her. That's for arena content. Now, if you're going to be building this champion for the sole purpose of trying to take down the faction wars, yes, from the Nitro faction, she's one of the key champions that can help you in that content. If you're building the champion for faction wars, I wasn't lucky enough to have her for that faction. You want to put this champion in Stunset, because that's the set that is very, very viable for this faction world, because the waves is a bigger problem than even sometimes even more than the boss in those type of content. So with an AoE on her A1 and AoE on her A2, she's sure to stun any enemies she comes across with, and you don't need accuracy for that to happen when you build a stun set. So those are the two beginner sets I would recommend: Crew and Stun sets. Crew and Stun sets. So that's beginner level sets. You might even see a SkullCrown in the end game in a stun set, because some people don't have enough damage in their SkullCrown to make her, you know, be a nuisance to the enemy. So just put it in a stun set to just keep stunning them AoE forever. They just keep getting stunned until they quit or something. So that stun set, don't underrate it. It's extremely important. I have to stress it before I move over and show you my own build, that I don't need her in a stun set. Why? Because I'm not going to use this champion in faction wars. I'm not going to use this champion in any other content that requires me to put stun on champions. If I want a stunner in AoE stunner, I have somebody else, Mighty Uko. Yeah, she's the biggest stunner right now in raid, so I might have that champion doing stun instead of SkullCrown. All right, let's see how I build this champion. The first build I'll show her off before I'll go over and change her build. This first build you're seeing me is me trying to test her up, test her in, because I found out I didn't have enough good savage sets. Yes, if you're like me, that you've not been farming the Fire Knight a lot and you've given all your good savage sets to your big nukers, I'm talking about your Foley, your Candrophone, all your big nukers in raid currently have your big savage sets. Let me just show you some of mine. This is my latest champion, Gala. She doesn't have savage, but this is even better than savage. So I have my better champions with savage. So SkullCrown came around and I did not have savage set to give her. So if you're like me and you've been farming the dragon more, or you've farmed the dragon right from the beginning of the game, you should have some good avenging sets. Any set that makes this champion retaliate. Retaliation is another good set. So if I scroll through and you see that this avenging set has a 45% chance to counter attack when hit with a critical hit, that's very, very conditional, because if Abita hits your SkullCrown, she might not counter attack. If somebody like the healer or the stunner, somebody in the enemy team who does not have 100% crit, who does not crit you, your SkullCrown will not counter attack. Why you put her in an avenging set is when you know the enemy nuker, whether their AoE nuker, will try to take you down first, and that's when counter attack will happen. That's why this set is not so popular in raid. So that's something to consider before you're putting her in this set. Know that she will not always counter attack. If you're looking for a set that will make her counter attack all the time, you know it already. It's down here by the name. You can already tell, retaliation set. This might be the best set for you. Still not talking about savage. This is still a set that is obtainable from, I think this is from the Ice Golem, right? So these are beginner or mid game or end game sets, right? Now I will show you a little bit of a, do we even need to test this set in battle? Because I tested it out in battle and I did not like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not like this set. Why did I put her in this set? Because it got my crit damage to 270. I'm looking to get close to 300 crit damage, right? Those are stats that you need on this champion. 100% crit rate, as high as possible as crit damage, then attack. So you want to go in that route. You see, I did not mention speed because speed is not important in this champion, except you're building this champion in a speed tuned team like an Abita, Longbeard, or I'll show you the teams. Basically, you want her to go first. In a go first team, then you want her to be in the right speed with all her other allies. But in a go second team, you don't need to focus on speed. The ally attack champion will just make her take a turn and everything ends for the enemies. So that's this set I managed to obtain right here. I was thinking, I finally have 270 speed and I have 4k attack. That's not enough apparently, because I was trying to build this to take down some heavy defense based, HP based, shielded champions. I'm not building this to go against an Arbiter team with their what do you call it now, Prince Kaima, or with their Madame Series. No, she will nuke them down for sure. I was trying to see if I could take down the Mine 2 Ukos that you see in the arena, the Krisk, you know, these dudes. So I was trying to see if that build could, whenever they hit me, I retaliate, whenever they hit me, I retaliate. But it turns out this build was not retaliating as much as I would like it to. So I'm not going to show it off. That's the first set, that I wanted to show, but it's not viable, at least on my account. I still managed to put in a little bit of ignore defense though, but it still wasn't enough. So those are the sets right there. You want to use retaliation is recommended more than this Avenging set. All right, let me come back with my final build for SkullCrown. Before I do go build that though, let me show you her masteries. I'm not going to be changing her masteries any for this build. This is directly from Airhead's website, and I think it's fine because I want to take her against big shielded teams, or both teams in bolster set especially. So that's why I know that some teams just come in there with a bolster set and you can't really do much about them with their damage dealer. You can't strip it, so shield breaker will help for that. And of course, ignore defense. Helm smasher is best, ignore defense. So I've never seen anybody go towards more crit damage for their SkullCrown, but maybe. And of course, she doesn't need accuracy at all, so there's no reason for you to come towards the support 3 at all. I don't think it's required at all, except you're using half or maybe PvE content and then you need some HP, or I don't think it's required. This support 3 doesn't benefit her. You want more counter attack right here from deterrence and also from retribution. That's how to go for your SkullCrown masteries. For her blessing, it's depends on you, but I feel like Crushing Rend is perfect with this champion if you have a higher awakening levels of 5 and 6 star, because it will ignore. It has a little bit of more ignore defense added to it right there, so you can use. All right, let's come in and see how I can rebuild this champion, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with what I think will be my final build for SkullCrown. It's going to be a savage set. Of course, those end game players who have good lethal sets, that's the best set for her, because that adds a little bit of more value than savage. But this is what I could find on my account. Remember, this is a realistic build. I'm not out here stealing gear from all my best champions just to showcase this champion. I want to show her how I'm actually going to use her on my account, because she's not the best damage dealer I have on my account, so I'm not going to give her the best savage set I have. I'll tell you, even my Seer even has more and better savage set, or even my Gala has more stats than she does. See what I'm saying? 6k attack, and if I gave SkullCrown this now, we'll be talking about a very, very good show. But I'm not here to just show and just take it off her. I'm here to show you a realistic build. So what did I do on her? I found these sets that I've not been using for a long time, just chilling right there. Wasn't on any champion. I didn't steal gear from anybody, and I was able to get her an attack chest, which is needed. Crit damage on the glove, always recommended and needed. Sometimes this rate optimizer will recommend you crit rate glove and then look crit damage elsewhere. I don't like that. I like to force it to give me crit damage glove and look for crit rate elsewhere. And of course, you need crit damage on the amulet. Those are the key places you need crit damage. Of course, attack everywhere else. There's nothing else you need than attack. If you get good sub rolls, this is giving me a sub roll of defense, which is bad. Why did I still select it? Because it has that counter attack accessory requirement on it. That's a special effect for this type of accessories I put on her, because since I don't have counter attack right here anymore, the set for either retaliation or for avenging, I decided to give her this triple set to give her that 15% chance of counter attacking when hit. It doesn't have to be critted to hit to counter attack, it just happens. So I'm hoping this might give me that counter attack I need for her to take down the enemies. Nothing changed about her masteries or blessing. Total stat I have right here, not even up to 5k attack. I know, not even up to 6k attack, but at least I got above 200 crit damage. That's awesome. And no accuracy, no resistance required right here. The first place I'll be testing out this build for her, this more of an end game build. Even if it's not a crazy gear, it's still gonna be the campaign, because that's where this champion is known to take down the campaign at 6 seconds. He's known as one of those 6 seconds campaign farmer, and that's maybe one of the reasons you want to build her on your account. Let me just test out one battle, see how fast she takes them down. She's not supposed to use that skill. Maybe you want to set her to use only her A1. Yes, her A1 does do 32k damage, 30k damage, and that's how she's able to become a 6-second farmer. Of course, my frames are dropped because I'm recording this video right now, but that's a 7-second run. Is she gonna be my new campaign farmer? Yes, usually I use Bigon as my campaign farmer, but I think she just replaced Bigon on my account. If you're new to raid, you don't have this gear to make this happen. I'm telling you, you don't have the gear to make her take down the wave in that fast. So she might be slower to take it down, maybe 2 hits to take them down, and then it'll be a 15 seconds farm. It's still fast, it's still good, so no problem. That's what ignore defense can do for you. Now for Avenging Set, when I brought her in here, one of the enemies on that wave was surviving. That's why I didn't want to show you that content on Avenging Set. Somebody was surviving even with about 270 crit damage and 5k attack. Somebody was surviving. All right, I'm not going to test her out in the dungeon because this champion, it's not built for the dungeon, but early game you use her everywhere, I guess. Except clan boss. Definitely not a clan boss champion also. Let's head over to the content where we actually built her for a blender comp. A blender comp consists of a SkullCrown, a Sinesha, or even just a SkullCrown with somebody going in with their help you doing all ally join attack. I'll give you an example. Oh, a SkullCrown against a SkullCrown. How will that work out? Let's not do that. This champion is going to put our skills on cooldown. This champion is going to put all of us on stun. Let me go against this team that is a little bit of tanky, and then something. That's how it looks. So if you don't have a long beard, remember you can always bring in your trusty epic champion who also does ally attack. And what's his name? I haven't used him in a while. There it is, the fat man, Parakin the Fat. He's the budget version of Longbeard, and yes, Longbeard is better. Argue with yourself in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna be testing him out, but I'm gonna be using Longbeard instead. Why? Because I recently rebuilt my Longbeard because of SkullCrown. I'll show that new build later in another video, but Longbeard will now be able to be so fast, like the enemy won't even know. He almost gets as fast as my Arbiter because I didn't speed tune them or anything, so hopefully I don't get caught into. This is not a guide for Sinesha though. We'll do that on a different day. So what are you hoping to happen? Increased attack is always what these champions benefit from, so whether you're running a Duchess with them or something, but once this champion takes a turn, all ally joins attack increases the damage inflicted by 20%. Imagine their damage that they have right now, ignore defense, savage and everything, then you boost it by an extra 20%. This is what happens. Everything melts. Well, besides what's her name, Mitrala Life Bane, which is in a stone skin. Of course you can't melt a stone skin. Then you put it on auto and let it happen. So this is what is supposed to happen normally. You don't want to use this SkullCrown team against a in your defense team. No, it's not something you use in your arena defense. Use it against offense when you want to go against teams like this. So you pick the teams that you know you can take them down once you get a turn, and that's to go against them. Now let me look for a tanky team which I already know would take me a while to beat a tanky team like this. This is a tanky team, right? Let's see if with UDK right there, because this is what I want my SkullCrown to do, to take numerous turns, even if she's not getting counter-attacked, until this team can go down. Let me see. Oh, they have 2 Stone King champions. Damn, this would be a hard one. But let me take down Mitrala first of all, so she doesn't put us to sleep or something. She survived it. Damn. We're gonna die. Arbiter, can you revive? Sinesha is not supposed to die that fast. I didn't have my Sinesha in any special stone skin or anything. I guess she might benefit from that one. No Stunset. I guess Sinesha Stunset makes more sense, but she's also in a savage that I will showcase. She will not do any damage to this thing. So, but at least we have procced our unkillable. Can we get our ally attack up again? I don't think so. Damn, this is going to be a loss. Her attack has been decreased. But yeah, if you go against teams like this, SkullCrown is not the answer. You have to go tanks for tanks. So when they bring a tank, you have to go with your tanks too, I guess. So I just want to show that this team can also fail. SkullCrown is not doing anything right here, and that's a fail. So I guess this blender teams back in the day used to work for those Arbiter teams whatever, you go against them, then nuke you. They feel like they have the upper hand, but nope, you come back around and take them down so fast. So let me look for another team like this again. Yes, a team that you obviously know is probably going to nuke you. Even if you don't have an arbiter and they go first, you still are able to come back from that and kill them. Right now my arbiter is too fast and I'm kind of cheating, I know, and everything is supposed to just blend them to the ground. This is how it's ideally supposed to work. And yeah, even if you can't go fast before them, let me look for a team that I will know, or I'll take out my arbiter and I'll go second. Let me take out my arbiter and allow them go first. Will it work? But I still need that increased attack, do I? Let's go for a Duchess this time around. But the problem is my long beard is faster than my Duchess. Alright, now they are faster than me. Hopefully they nuke me down, or they try to. See what is happening? Counter attack, counter attack. I've not gotten my turn yet. I've not taken a turn. So with those counter attack accessories, this can happen and go against a team, even if you're slower than them. Mitigate some damage. You can see my SkullCrown, she's already dead. She should be dead. There's no reason this champion should survive, but her unkillable kept her alive, and then you can now go in there and clean up. So that's, I guess, for a go second way, it also works. Not just a go first blender. Go second teams like this, it works. If your speed team is on a different team, you can always use this type of team. All right, I think I've showcased my SkullCrown enough. That's my build that I'm going to use on her. It's not the best, but it's going to work against certain teams on the arena where I just don't feel like, you know, disturbing myself too much. I can always put her against a team like this. If you don't have a Sinesha, or I don't want to use a long beard, I can always use somebody to protect her, you know, because this also works. There are different ways to protect this champion. You can always, if you don't have a Duchess, put her in the leader slot and put even a tankier champion like Vogot at the bottom end right here to help her come back to full HP. But that's if you're running that type of comp like this. So there are many ways to use her. Definitely keep her alive if you can, but if she doesn't stay alive, she will be able to keep herself alive with unkillable and retaliate. So with that accessories that I have on her. All right, let me know how you built your SkullCrown. I know she's kind of old in Raid Shadow Legends and is not that useful in Platinum content arena, but if you're new to Raid or you're just trying to climb the ranks of silver and gold, especially in 3v3 arena, this champion can look at some teams and just go in there and wipe them down, blend them, as they say. So that's my team right here for SkullCrown. That's my champion guide and showcase. It's not a champion I hope to use every day, but it's a champion I definitely hope to use in 3v3 arena offense team when I see some teams that I can definitely use this blender comp against. Make sure you watch out for stun if they go first. SkullCrown doesn't have enough high resistance to survive that, and make her slow as possible so she can be retaliating. My SkullCrown, I think 155 speed or 140 speed is even too fast. All right, help me hit like in this video, and I'll look forward to your comments to let me know how you beat your SkullCrown. Did you also go savage set, or are you using a weird set that I don't know about? Later, guys.